Greetings, weary traveler, come, warm yourself by the fire, and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of adventure, tales of heroism, and of course, tales of Tamriel and Night City. I'm your host, Arkaniir, and I'm joined by two of my amazing co-hosts, starting with the man, the myth, the legend himself, LotusOfDoom. How's it going, Lotus?
Good. I still appreciate being back in Tamriel, not in the future, which I think everything will devolve into shortly.
You are one of the very few people who are resisting the hype, I should say.
Hyper minority at the moment.
Also joining us, the giggle queen herself, the joy of the show, HyperPixie Gaming. How's it going, Pixie?
Going good, pulling myself back from the dark future for a little bit to talk about ESO stuff.
There you go, there you go. And we do have some stuff to talk about for ESO. However, this might be a short episode because for the last 3 days, both Pixie and myself have been exploring the Night City of Cyberpunk 2077. And yeah, since it's new, it's got most of our attention. But we do have some interesting news from the Elder Scrolls Online.
Yes, we do.
Very recently, I think it was on Thursday, there was the Game Awards show for 2020, and during this, we got a lot of teaser trailers, a lot of news. We heard about the new, we saw the new Dragon Age, new Mass Effect, we saw the gameplay trailer for Warhammer 40k Darktide, all of which are irrelevant here, but we did see a new teaser trailer for Elder Scrolls Online's upcoming expansion. We don't have a name. There wasn't even any speech in the... it was just a teaser trailer. It was like minute and a half long video. However, we are getting some solid nostalgia all the way back to my favorite Elder Scrolls game, Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Now, Lotus, since you are the one resisting the Cyberpunk hype, why don't you go ahead? And also, you found some interesting stuff in this teaser trailer as well. Well, interesting, right. or well, we'll get to it. We'll decide what to call it. But yeah, give us a rundown of this teaser.
So during the Game Awards, they released the Gates of Oblivion teaser trailer, kind of very similar to what happened last year with the Dark Heart of Skyrim, and then they had the global reveal at Vegas, which I'm going to go with that's probably not going to happen this year.
So we actually have a date on the global reveal event.
They do, and they fixed the time travel problem where they accidentally put 2020, which I thought was very, very funny. But yes, so now it's, I believe, January 21st, 2021 is when the global reveal is. We had a pretty lengthy, analysis of it over on Elder Scrolls Lorecast this week, which happened, literally, I think we recorded 15 minutes after the trailer went live, so it was wow, this couldn't be more on time. And as a result, it's... you kind of do a pan through. I would definitely suggest it's anywhere you look for it. I don't think it's worth playing because it's not going to do much for the audio.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to, but because there isn't any speech or anything in it, it's just sound effects and a video. So I'm not going to play it on the show for the audio.
Yeah, so it won't really add anything for the majority of the listeners. But basically, there's a flyby. You have what's her name? The elf from
Ellie.
Yes, thank you.
Ellie Sharp Arrow, something like that. Yes, from Where is
Hrothgar.
she from? I can't remember.
Hrothgar.
Hrothgar storyline.
Oh, that's because I haven't finished Hrothgar. I left it halfway.
Yeah.
I probably met her, but I didn't go through the entire thing. There you go.
She's the very chipper Bosmer.
Yeah,
I love her.
I will say
she seems to be the favorite of a lot of people.
People really liked her originally, and good. Those are characters you can bring back. That's fine.
Not the dead ones.
Yeah, that. Great. She's a great cameo. When I saw her, I was like, wait, is that the little Bosmer from... And then it turned out it was, so I was like, sweet. we kind of sort of seem like we're getting on par. We were talking about Daedric fights, but we were really convinced maybe Meridia. And apparently it's Dagon, and it looks like it's a pretty strong nod to Oblivion, and the jungle area is very much up for debate in the video. Whether is it Black Marsh, is it some area on the outskirts of Cyrodiil? Like, there's a lot of questions that the video brings up. There is a lot of thirst in the ESO community because everybody is all about Dagon and his huge traps.
So everyone forgot Lady of Empire. I forgot her name.
Lady Thorn.
Lady Thorn. Yeah,
Dagon's back
forgotten.
muscles hypnotize you into forgetting Lady
replaced.
Thorn too.
They have a new target now, and it's the four-armed, towering Meyronus Dagon.
Well, exactly,
Okay.
because you can
Like-
have mega traps on a Daedric Prince, but you give him forearms and he's got twice the amount of them, so it's all muscle, and apparently that is all the community needs.
Like, I was with them with the Fëanorian hype. I was like, yeah, Fëanorian's adorable. Like, I agree with you. But Dagon? Like, maybe it's just because, like, super muscly isn't my thing. I'm just like, no, I just want to kill him.
Dagon shouldn't be anyone's thing, just for...
Okay, thank
Valid
you.
counterpoint. Dagon's a weird thing to have.
I feel
don't
like
know.
they could literally, in their trailers, post anyone, and Twitter would start thirsting
Pretty
at
much.
this point.
That is correct. I immediately saw Dominic Davies. Damien. Sorry, I almost got his name wrong. And a few others posting like, "What have we done? The thirst is so strong, and the trailer's barely over." And I'm like, "Yep, you guys just don't learn over there." It's like
Those
whatever you
back
produce.
muscles, man.
Yeah. So very
Because that's
funny
all
stuff.
you see Dagon.
You don't even see him turn
Dagon's
around.
shoulders, basically. That's what you see.
Exactly. We don't even see him turn around and have that stupid potato face that he had the last time we saw him.
I mean, he
It's
did
just gonna
get
be the
a
exact
so
model from
between
Oblivion.
yeah from Oblivion to that would have been amazing.
That would be amazing. Super detailed back. He turns around. It's literally the Oblivion, just pixelated potato face.
He did get a resolution upgrade apparently within the last 14 years of his existence, so that's something. One
But,
thing I want to mention though, so at the beginning of the trailer, are they on a bridge or an altar?
Oh, I thought they were on an altar.
Right, because so I saw this discussion that sleeping Argonian sleeps on bridges. Do you remember sleeps on bridges?
That would be amazing. Yes,
Incredible.
that would be
that-
great.
I saw people. I think it was under a thread with Ninja 614 that people were like, "Is this sleeps on bridges?"
That is incredible. I really hope it is. Now
Yeah,
I really
that's
want it to
why
be
I was like,
sleeps on
"Are they
bri-
on a bridge or are they on an altar?" Because I don't really remember. I remember them being on a rocky terrain, so, but I didn't pay attention whether if it was an altar or anything.
So, like, a few days before Thursday, they actually released, like, a couple-second teaser for the teaser. And it was just Veli, like, tossing and turning next to the book, and the book starting to glow gold. So, because she was
Yes.
obviously having a nightmare, and because there was a book involved, I'm like, we're getting Vermina and Hermaeus Mora teaming up to start something in Cyrodiil, was what I was thinking. I was not expecting straight up potentially going back to Cyrodiil with another Oblivion crisis. So that came out of left field for me.
Yes.
That was something I totally did not expect Dagon to be coming. I mean, it's cool because we haven't seen a lot of Dagon so much that I can remember in ESO.
Not really.
I don't think we ever.
Dagon?
there's
I
no
mean,
Dagon as
well-
far as I can remember.
Yeah, City of Ash 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But that's because that's so there
the
is
two
Oblivion
dungeons I
Gate.
despise because they are unrelentingly long, even if you just run through them.
Correct, especially 2. There's no escape. But yeah, he's definitely an underused Daedric Prince in this game. So I thought that was kind of neat. Just because, I assume Rich has got to be super excited, as Oblivion was, from my understanding, that was like one of his first projects. So like this is gonna have like a special little nod, and I don't know, like I'm pretty hyped for this. I did want a Daedric focus.
Yeah.
That was kind of really the only thing I had suggested when people were speculating. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know if this is a thing. I just want more Daedra stuff. Like, so I'm glad that's back. This just definitely was not what I was expecting. And I do hope that it is somehow involved with more of Black Marsh, because there's so much more to Black Marsh to see, and that would kind of be neat as well. But I don't know. Those are all big questions still.
All right, we know Argonians are pretty good against the Dagons, Deathlands, and Daedra, because during the Oblivion Crisis, they basically charge into Oblivion Gates, and Dagon has to actually close Oblivion Gates in Black Marsh, because they can't stop the Argonians from overpowering them in the Deathlands.
So they're like, well, our generals are lost. Well, at least we can kill them in here with us. When they murder us all, we'll just eventually they just can't get out. Like, they're basically the only race that was able to overpower just like a straight Daedric incursion right out the gate.
I'm gonna be so happy if we get some Anzaleel quest lines in there. That will make me, because I mean, you guys know that like I have outside of the Aldmeri Dominion races, Argonians hold a very special place in my heart. If we get an Anzaleel storyline, I'm gonna be thrilled with this. And since there was an Argonian in that trailer, and there's not usually Argonians in the trailers,
there's potential.
I think there could be.
Actually, there has been Argonians in pretty much every trailer in Elder Scrolls, except
Have
Sunset.
I just completely blanked them?
So in Morrowind, they are guarding the Grandmasters, the guy that Naryu assassinates. They are the guards. They see Naryu and they're like, nope, we are not gonna fight. They back away.
Smart Argonians.
So in Elsewhere trailers, they are guarding the Necromancer Breton's carriage.
Yes,
they are also Argonian
Okay,
guards.
so I remember that one.
In the original trailers, the Three Banners War trailers, they are in the Pact side just throwing war cries and charging at the Imperial walls, the Imperial city walls. We see them
apparently
there.
I'm blind.
No, you were just rooting for the wrong faction. That was the problem.
No.
Had you been on the correct side, you would have been friends with your Argonians.
No, so one of my favorite characters in this whole entire game is Zukas. I want to see more Zukas. I
one?
love
Zukas?
him so much. He was in Murkmire.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't
Murkmire
do
from the
Murkmire,
Brightthroat Village. I prefer Zukas was good. I like Zukas, but I like Jaxic Orn. She was a psychopath. She was my
Zukas,
favorite.
Though, as soon as Zukas said something about the bark dogs, I was like, yes, you are now my best friend. I love you, Zukas. If we can just get Zukas and Razumdar together, like, I will be the happiest person in ESO. I don't think that's going to happen. There's no reason for them to be together, but I need that to happen at some point.
You
in
never
my life.
know in ESO, honestly.
Yeah,
like.
Zukas house guest. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh my god. I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
So, remember how during ESO Lorecast we discussed about, speculated about the latest expansion for ESO, and you wanted Daedra, I wanted an expansion to Cyrodiil, but the Nibenese side, basically, sort of. Not the Colovian Cyrodiil, but Nibenese. Right. So, if we get both of them with this, like Oblivion Gates, Nibene Valley, and... I'll be so happy. That will be my dream combo, going back to straight up Oblivion.
So, this is obviously not anything that was shown in the trailer. This gets a little speculative, obviously, and there's still plenty more to see. But since I had already talked about this a decent amount Thursday, my brain kind of was going on like some of the ideas. And one of the things we were talking about, which I thought would just be really, really fun, is each of the major zones has the incursion thing. How neat would it be for the incursions to be like Daedric Gates with just like Daedra pouring out of it, and you need to like go into the like Oblivion Gate? Like that to me, in place of a Dark Anchor, in place of Dragon or whatever, I just think those would look really cool. And Tom brought up the fact.
I was going to say the same. Like
yeah, I think that would be really cool. Tom
the
brought up the
world
fact-
events, so instead of dragons, Daedric Anchors, Gazers, and whatnot,
Yeah.
as you said, or Hero Storms, we get the Oblivion Gates, which will be so fun.
Yes,
I want it.
But the only thing that could be neat now, this is kind of, I believe, a bit extreme on the pipe dream situation. So not to sell an idea that is completely impractical from a coding standpoint, but when the Oblivion gates come up, they tend to not just be in one area. Like, they tend to just pop up all over the place. That was like one of the things during that
Actually
whole
not.
event. What?
I believe Daedric Gates, so the Oblivion Gates, I believe had specific constant locations.
Oh no, I mean in lore, not in game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I mean
yeah.
in storytelling, not they were. There was a predetermined, like, I think there were like 130 of them, and it could be at any one of those 130 sites or whatever. So that's, yeah, you're definitely right. I just mean overall, whereas like they were popping up in Black Marsh, they were popping up in Morrowind, they were popping up in Cyrodiil. One thing, which I'm sure technically it's probably impossible, but it would be so cool if, much like the time rifts that came with the Sigic Order, if we could just get Oblivion Gates to be potential in any zone out of left field. That would entertain me to like
So-
no end.
You know how every now and then we get these random mobs that just scamps coming out of a portal?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
On a small scale, they could do it like that, but for a world event, they need a specific wide enough area. So they need specific locations for world events, but they could potentially do them like smaller ones to pop out anywhere and everywhere. And then there would be like, Oblivion Gate, and then there would be Greater Oblivion Gate only in that expansion area. And that would be the world event type. And then everywhere else we get these little small ones.
Little ones.
summon
Also,
scamps.
I love as we're speculating about this, Isha's response was, I had a practice closing them, please no.
Please, yes. I miss going into like trying to find my way through a stupid tower so I could get that stupid sigil, which provides stupid enchantment benefits and then trying to get out of it. And I miss Oblivion
So I don't
and
know
all its stupidity.
what is wrong with me, but anytime, so I didn't play as much Oblivion as like you guys did. I think I only have, like, if I look at GOG, I only have about 20 hours in Oblivion. But the parts where I'd have to go into an Oblivion Gates just stressed me out so badly. I don't know if I just thought I was going to die, or if it was
I
like
think
all the
that-
charred bodies. I was like, this is scary more so than it is pretty. So, like, I like the forest areas and all of that. So I'm like, I just see this hellscape and, like, instant anxiety through the roof. And I don't know what is wrong with me where that, like, just isn't something that I would sit there and take pictures of. But that's the one thing with me where the Oblivion Gates are probably going to be executed really well. And I think I'm going to like them more than I did in Oblivion, because that might have just been a graphical thing for me. I don't know. But, like, the Dremora attacking me and stuff, like, I was just real bad at that game.
So the
To be fair-
thing was with Oblivion Gates was that in open world you have places to escape, basically. You had, random guards also helping you. You could just run away until the, enemies basically decide to disengage and things like. You had options. But when you went into Oblivion Gates, you basically had 0 options.
Maybe
and-
that's what it was.
Yeah, and those towers were complex. Like, by the time you
Yes.
would get to that sigil, you would, depending on the difficulty you are playing, you would run out of potions. Depending on your gear, you would not be doing much. As Going Crazy in chat mentioned, just running to a sigil,
Sprinting to the sigil.
sprinting to the sigil was a strategy. I mean, you could just basically cast invisibility. If you were a mage, you could just make your way to the sigil and rip it apart and close the gate. So that was a.
I mean, I
that was a
kind of
cheese
assume in
flaw.
ESO, we're not going to need to go in and rip the sigil out. I would assume that, like, the Oblivion Gate will open, stuff will dump out, and we'll whittle down the stuff until, like, a boss or something spawns similar to a Dark Anchor. And that will be I can't imagine, because trying to have like an open world thing, it's going to be interesting if they were to do that, because then you'd have people trying to port in and port out, but then say like it's a dolmen farm or something like that, and you've got 86 people there all smashing the stuff. It's like, that's going to be a mess, having people port in, port out, get up the tower. How many people need to deactivate the sigil or whatever? I would assume it's just going to be enemies pour out until you overwhelm it or something like that.
I will say...
I think they will do portals that we will actually go in, because otherwise it's just not going to feel right. Like, the only way to close an Oblivion gate is to go to the tower. It doesn't matter if a boss comes out of it and you kill the boss. That doesn't mean anything. But I also think, as you said, it's going to cause issues.
So I'm going to disagree a little bit. I think they're going to save the portal mechanisms for the new dungeons and the new trial that's likely coming.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
I think it's going to be a combination. I think it's going to be Ark's portal thing that we see in Oblivion, and then your idea, Lotus, of just everything pouring out of these smaller portals for the world events.
Yes, I see.
But
what
for
you're
the
saying.
trial, we're going to have a big siege on Oblivion with the Anzaleel, is what I'm calling now.
That would be pretty awesome.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
but what are the world events going to be then? Because it just doesn't make sense to close an Oblivion gate just by killing things that are coming out of it. You gotta get to the sigil. You gotta rip the sigil.
Unless they're like what you were talking about a second ago with like greater and lesser Oblivion gates.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I can really think of.
I don't know.
So,
That's very... Wow, we really went into speculation town on that one quick.
I will say the potential... So I hadn't actually like stopped and thought about it before, but the potential of a raid on Oblivion being the trial
would be awesome.
makes me so excited for this.
That would be amazing. Because then they could get weird high fantasy whatever, and it would fit like really well, even for those of us like
Honestly,
me.
now I see that as like
100%
100% thing.
Yeah,
that seems like the obvious
seems like that would be
there.
awesome.
Especially since there's an Argonian show. Maybe the Argonian's just a thing, but I feel like the Anzaleel was talked about in Oblivion. Like, I know if you like talk to certain Argonians in Oblivion, they'd say they felt like they were called back to Black Marsh or whatever because of the Hist. But we didn't get to see them, so being able to see them would be really, really cool. And I know our lore master really likes Argonians, and our creative director really likes Oblivion. So having the Anzaleel would make sense. And we saw the swamp. So if we're like down in Leyawiin, or if we're somewhere in Black Marsh, having the Anzaleel be a part of a big raid on Oblivion with you, because that would make it feel so much larger scale. So like you're part of an elite 12-person team who's going to get the sigil while the Anzaleel are keeping everyone busy and taking out these guys with you to keep you from just being mobbed. It would make sense from a story perspective, and it would be visually stunning, and I think it'd be really cool.
I'm looking at the trailer on the side, and that's definitely not Cyrodiilic jungle. That's a swamp. That's
Leyawiin is swampy, though.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That looks straight up jungly to me, but there is the potential of I don't know. Like there's.
I'm trying to see the structure as well, just like.
Yeah, I couldn't see any buildings or anything like that to see if they had like the weird ziggurat things or anything, or mud huts.
It looks Argonian, honestly. You know that scene where it goes into a cave?
Yeah,
that looks pretty Argonian to me.
That's my thing. I know people were really, I don't know. I'm thinking Black Marsh that's been my thing since I saw that. So I don't know. It's very, very wet, jungly, swampy.
Actually, wait, the shot makes a good. What about Valenwood?
It could be.
So Valenwood would make me a very, very,
we already have
Valenwood,
don't we?
Well, that's the thing.
Most of Valenwood.
We do have a lot of Valenwood. However, the concept of having Evilie, or however you pronounce her name, back, I mean, that would also pull a tie to that, because, I mean, that's going to be more of her homeland. But since we've discussed, like, since so much of that region has been uncovered already, it would be I'm curious where exactly they would have it take place. I'm not too sure.
Does Valenwood and Blackmarsh share a border? Hold on. I don't know.
No.
Tamriel map.
Elsewhere is in between there.
Yeah,
Oh,
elsewhere
yeah,
blocks it entirely down to the waterway.
So something else to remember
there's
about
there's a
Valley,
whole
too.
river thing going between.
Yeah.
Something else to remember about Valley too. It's been a long time since I've done the full Valenwood storyline there. I think we don't even meet her until the Orsinium DLC.
So
she's
in
up
Orsinium.
in Hrothgar, so she doesn't necessarily like go to Valenwood all that much potentially.
Right.
So she could be anywhere, and it would make sense because we didn't meet her in Valenwood. It's not like Roz, where he was part of the Dominion, and that's his thing. So seeing Roz in the Somerset trailer, like, obviously we know where that's going to be. But with Aveli, she really could be anywhere. So it looks like Blackmarsh to me. In my heart, I kind of hope for Valenwood, just because I love Valenwood so much. But it looks like it's going to be Blackmarsh, or if not Blackmarsh, Leyawiin. Or maybe both. We might get Leyawiin as the expansion area, like that section of Cyrodiil, since it's all marshy. And then maybe another zone in Black... Okay, so it's been a long time
here's
since
the
I played
thing.
Oblivion.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
The problem is, ESO's map is so different than the OG Tamrielic map. There is actually nothing that separates Elsewhere and Blackmarsh. It's a block.
What?
The waterway that goes from Cyrodiil all the way to the Southern Sea, it doesn't exist in ESO's map. Look at it. Just bring it up on Google and look at Elder Scrolls Online's map, and it's basically, it doesn't exist.
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, look at it.
So
Instead it's a bay. It's like a massive chunk, but it doesn't go all the way up to Cyrodiil. That river thing.
Hold on, wait a second. So if you look, there is a huge chunk of place we haven't been between Shadowfen and Cyrodiil.
Yes, there is. That's
gotta
actually
be
the
the new
region that I'm
zone.
wondering about.
Yeah, that has to be it, because then you get the swamp. Is that... So, okay, been a long time since I played Oblivion. Is Leyawiin on that southeastern side of Oblivion?
Leyawiin is supposed to be
Or is it southwest?
east of Elsewhere on the sea. So it's a not the sea, but hold on, let me link this to. I'm gonna link it in chat, so see this map.
Oh, okay. So this is a little weird. I know what you... Okay, I see what you're saying, Ark.
So Leyawiin is east of Elsewhere, on the east coast of Elsewhere, but that east coast does not exist in Elder Scrolls Online.
I don't see the picture that you linked.
I linked it in Twitch chat, because if I move
duh.
my Discord, the cameras are gonna go wonky.
Oh. Well then,
So,
that's a problem.
all right, hold on a second. So there's a few things that I'm curious on now. Welcome to Speculation Cast. All right.
Pylon and Kiz in chat is like, because the link I sent was not from UESP, and now we
Correct.
upset Kiz and Pylon. The problem
they
is
should be
you guys
upset.
gotta work on better SEO on
Nah.
your website, so when I type in ESO Tamriel map, UESP shows up. That's not
So-
on me.
All right.
So we can
So
blame
here's the
Kiz for
thing.
this, I think. Moving
right.
on.
Sorry, kids. It's your fault. So, all right. Yeah, I see this map that you're showing me that's got it. Which was the one without? Or was it the Tamriel, like, overview, the game-maps.com? Was that the one you were talking about where there is no water?
Wait, hold on. Say again?
Which was the map that you saw that goes up without the water?
Like any of them, except for, like, they all have this bay.
Yeah,
But
they all
don't
have this
the
bay.
whole-
So the thing is, they
Just look at any Elder Scrolls Online map.
I keep looking at them and they all have the river. That's why.
Really?
No,
Hold
it
on.
doesn't go all the way down. Look at
Screenshots.
an Elder Scrolls map, and then look at an Elder Scrolls Online map.
Well, okay,
Here.
so the one you just put in chat, right? That one has the river that goes all the way down.
Yes.
Here's...
Then look at an Elder Scrolls Online map.
All right, so I think I understand what the problem is, which is actually more of a technical... No, oh, hold on, I'll show you. All right, I'm going to put this stinky one in.
There we go.
Click on that one.
Okay.
This is brutal for the audio listeners, but I'm sure.
Well,
Map
they can
analysis.
look as well.
Yeah, so, okay. So this is what you're referring to, where there's like, it's the bay down at the bottom and there's nothing separating them?
Mm-hmm.
It's because they literally have it, so it's literally only based on the coding in there. If you look at the Imperial City, the waterway disappears when they run out of map. It's simply a technical problem. There's no thing there.
Okay.
It's supposed to be there, but they're not superimposing it where it should be. They're just cutting it where it ends because the map is physically not in the game yet.
That makes a
It's
lot
there
of
in all of
sense.
them. Yep.
And I am annoyed by that.
It makes a lot of sense. I hate it.
That's a whole chunk of the continent.
That is totally fair because I'm not gonna lie. When I looked at it, I was like, I hate this. So
We
I'm
just
totally
had a
there with you.
10-minute discussion because of this.
Yes, but
And honestly, like, I would have caught this if Windhelm was in the correct place.
oh my god, don't get me started on Windhelm. I'm gonna have
I am already
that one
like
I can't handle.
I am already very what is it?
Predisposed to being very mad at the map.
Yes. Well, no, map being bad, not me being very bad at the map. The map being
No,
different
the map
than
yeah,
the OG
I'm
map.
just always I'm perpetually angry at the map. Yeah, but that's
Yeah, but yeah, that
as
makes
you
sense.
put in
So
chat,
when the
it's like a fog
area
of war.
loads in, we will probably get the
Yes,
river
because
as
you
well.
can
there.
see the waterway just trails in and then just literally deletes the second it runs out of
Yeah.
coded area. Which makes
Man.
the rest of the uncoded area look like a solid block, which is super disorienting to say the least. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
so
just
there
assumed
theoretically
the
should
the
there.
cut would be existing in the
Right.
plane map as well.
But no, it looks like
that
it's
makes
just,
a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the reason for anybody who watches the video version of this, every now and then it looks like, I don't know, I'm staring at the sky or something like that. But without making everybody nauseous from flipping my camera around, I have the map directly above my monitor. And it's the ESO world
Convenient.
map. So that's why I always look up when I'm checking a location, because I looked up and I was like, I have an ESO map and it's right in front of me. And why is the waterway there? But it's not the individual like thing angled like that. It's just like the overview of like, this is the world of Tamriel, blah, blah, blah. So
See, I thought you were just like looking up, like, oh, I'm trying to remember something.
yeah, no, it's
And-
not me thinking. It's me confirming what I think or proving myself wrong. When I look up, I'm like, that's not right at all. I'm like,
It's
I'm
just your
very
perfect
wrong.
photographic memory. You're
Yes,
looking
exactly.
up to just recall for just a second.
Yep. But yeah, so that's it's just a very odd situation that it's not showing water there, but there will be water there. So it is separated. Even ESO time, it's just not separated yet. I guess.
So as Pixie mentioned, I mean Leavine I can see as a DLC, but not as a full expansion. I think it's too small to be an expansion, but it could be. So it could be Black Marsh, the western Black Marsh, and then Leavine, basically one DLC on left side of that river, and then the
Yeah.
expansion on the right side of that river in Black Marsh. That
Maybe it'll
Makes
involve
sense
the
to me.
And I mean, if we get real stretched out there, there's that really, really annoying strip of the Tenmar Forest that we didn't get with the Season of the Dragon, where we did Northern Elsewhere and Southern Elsewhere, and we didn't do the Tenmar Forest in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Could we please fill in the Tenmar Forest?
I really wanted the Tenmar Forest. I like forests a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I like Valenwood so much. So I was so excited to do Tenmar Forest. And like there are forested areas in Southern Elsewhere, which is why I love that zone so much. Damn it, I wanted the Tenmar Forest too.
yeah, I can. Yeah, that's also a possibility.
Yep.
Or maybe that whole area, like Leavine and the Tenmar Forest as a DLC, and then Black Marsh as an expansion. That's definitely
Makes sense to me.
yeah.
And then the trial's obviously going to be us going into Oblivion. and kicking some butts.
Yeah, so yeah, trial going into Oblivion dungeons, I don't know. Not sure what the dungeons would be if the trial is, because going into Oblivion twice for dungeons and the trailer might be too much. I don't know.
I mean, there's a bunch of gates.
Yeah,
They'd have to find a way to make them feel different.
Like mechanic would be too similar, because
For sure.
Deathlands is one of the most generic and, like, if you think about it, boring Daedric realm ever, because it just exists of lava and towers,
Yes.
and you yank out the only existing mechanic in Deathlands is that you yank out sigils and that closes a gate. So
right.
yeah, it's not
It's
very
got to be the trial.
I think, yeah, I look at trials being the, Deathland Oblivion Gate like 100% right now. I mean, the DLC could also, well, I don't know. I was gonna say a zone could also be in Deathlands, like Cold Harbor, but I don't think there is any, like, civilization in Deathlands. So in Cold Harbor, we have Hollow City, but Deathlands is just nothing exists in Deathlands other than lava and Daedra. So
Yeah,
I don't know
There's
if
a
it can
whole
be
lot
a
of
live
zone.
up to their name.
And who knows? Like, I mean, if Ellie was having a nightmare, so we might still have a Vermina surprise. Because
Well,
it's
this
not
was never
really-
about Dagon.
Well, okay. I'm not saying Dagon isn't in it.
That
I'm
would
just
be
saying
really,
it might be
that'd
him
be a really
with
funny
somebody
misdirection.
It was all a
Else.
dream.
That would be hilarious. Show him his back puzzles quick. They'll never guess what's coming.
They're distracted. All right, now get them. Yeah, so, like, to that point, I mean, with the Somerset plot, we had Daedric princes all briefly pretending to coordinate with each other, then, surprise, Daedric princes don't work well together, so it was betrays on betrays on betrays. But it was like, that we got several of them, and it started way before any of that, where it's like, the main antagonist didn't even actually end up really being the main antagonist in the
Right.
end of that. So who knows what direction they're going with? It's there's a lot of potential, especially since we only have 1 minute and 27 seconds worth of
Yeah.
video that we've seen. So who knows what's still coming?
This is
I mean,
why I
I'm
love
calling
Elder
it now.
Scrolls. The speculation.
Right?
You can speculate forever.
So if we do get the Oblivion Gate with Anziliel specifically as the trial, take credit as being psychic. Just saying.
Yep, there you go.
I mean, that's
I'll be a happy woman.
we have actually, as Tales of Tamriel, we've actually been very on point with a lot of
Yeah,
lot of releases and a lot of surprises, because we spent 10 hours speculating and one of them actually happens eventually.
That's the thing, is we cover so many potential concepts. I will never let anyone forget that I basically called Nefarka Larga Largus as the dragon, because that was the stupidest thing I ever could have said, and it ended up when he showed up in Southern Elsewhere, it was like, oh my god, it's the dragon from Redguard. It's like,
Well, when that little tiny teaser at the Game Awards last year was shown for Skyrim, I remember I had an entire stream where I free cammed around Skyrim the game to figure out where it could be, and I stood at Mount Kilcreath and was like, it's right here.
oh
Like,
yes.
So, and it was right there. Mount Kilcreath is in there. That's where that screenshot
Yep.
was taken.
Yeah,
so I
exactly.
was dead on.
Yep, you were like
So-
super on point with that. Exactly. It's like
I was
you
so proud of
throw
myself.
enough- throw enough shit at the wall and some of it'll stick.
No. We're just psychic. Don't. It's not that we say too many things. It's just that we're
wait, so-
100% correct.
I just looked at the beginning of the trailer, and just where we see the altar, where the Argonian and Evelyn, whatever, is sleeping, you actually see some landscape.
Yeah, I couldn't really make out enough of it because I've watched it a couple different times, and we haven't even gotten to my stupid thing where I decoded Daedric, because that was worthwhile.
We are gonna get
Clearly,
to
that
that
was
as well.
the secret to the trailer.
I loved that.
So many people were like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Well, translate it."
Makes you wonder if they did it on purpose.
I assume there's a lot more to the word than in that one screenshot, so that it makes sense. To what I'm referencing, actually, yeah, it's as opposed to being vague. When they're crossing across the Deadlands, there was speculation of what is the stuff on the ground. Like there's cracks and stuff like that. And there's some Daedric script that blows by very quickly. And I took the screenshot where the discussion was happening on the Reddit post about like what it could mean, and people were trying to translate it. And I translated it, and what I got out of it, because it's like 4 letters pretty concretely, and then there's kind of a letter off to the side, maybe. Well, I just tastefully deleted that one. I'm like, nah, that's just a crack in the ground. Clearly, it just says cool, because if you actually translate it, it totally says COOL. So I think they were just, I think they were just talking about how cool that trailer was.
Honestly,
Cool.
like, if I was making anything like this, I see myself sneaking in stuff like that in there, so it's...
So, I brought this up before. One of the amazing Skyrim artists, what do you call it? That he designed the Dragon Priest masks, Jonah Loeb. He also did, I believe it was the Nordic armor, the Dragon Bone armor, stuff like that. He was one of like the 3D modeling Skyrim artists. And I forget where it was that I heard this. I tried to remember for the Lorecast as well, and I can't remember what interview I saw this on, or if it was like on his art stream. But if you translate the Daedric, or not the Daedric, the dragon runes on the armor, it's his signature.
Oh.
And I just was like, that's so awesome.
That is really
like,
cool.
I was like, dude, that is so cool that you got to basically sign your name. It's like, this is mine. It's like, that's so cool.
Also, so look at the screenshot I sent into Twitch chat. That's the first frame of the teaser trailer that we see. We are looking through the altar to the distant lands. There is a big-looking river making its way all the way up through between the mountains, like between 2 lands. And we've been discussing, we discussed for 10 minutes where in ESO map that river was. Because it wasn't it didn't look like it didn't exist. So I wonder if that's that river.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe that's
And
that
what we
water.
It has to be.
What we see all the way in the distance, where that could be. So that could be, looking from that, well, I actually don't know. Well, it's not Imperial City. It could be, it's not Leavin, because that would be too close to the bay. Could be Rimmon, maybe, from afar, because in ESO, I think Rimmon is at the coast and not more inland.
Interesting.
Blowing up a picture of the Oblivion map right now so I can see this.
Yeah, that's the only place I can place it.
Bravel?
There's some Bravel, maybe. Wait, Bravel, isn't it in?
No,
Oh,
Breville
it's
would
not
be
in
the other
Cyrodiil
side.
right now. Yeah, it's not
Oh
one
wait,
of
we
the
already have
towns,
Bravel,
right?
don't we?
Yeah, Breville would be on the other direction.
Well, no, I'm looking at a
No,
picture of it right
Breville
now.
is
It's right
south.
on the river.
That's Bruma. North one is Bruma.
Right. Yeah, no,
Here,
you're right.
look.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I'm
thinking
going to
of
post
Bruma.
this in chat too so you guys can speculate with me. But if you look, if you're standing down in Leowin, which is on the elsewhere side of the river, right across from Blackwood,
Yeah.
if you look straight up, Bravel is the nearest big
Yeah,
city.
no, you're right. It could totally be Breville, because I was thinking, I was absolutely thinking, yeah, interesting. Yeah, so it could be like the Blackwood to Breville area, and it's like you could be over on this coastal area, and like there's your Cyrodiil influence that people have kind of been working with from the leak, and you're going over to the Blackmarsh side. I think you're very much. I think this is.
So that
all
city we see in
very
the
potential.
distance could be Breville.
You're right. It could be Breville. I was gonna say I was totally thinking of Bruma. You're right. It's
Or it could
Very
be whatever that
interesting.
Fort Irony or something is. Like, because Breville, I mean, ESO's map is a little bit different, but Breville is a bit more inland. So at the corner there, we have a fort apparently. But again, ESO has a slightly different map, so that could very well be Buraville that we see in the distance in that video, in the first, like at the very beginning of it. I wish I could see the architecture. Like, it does have a look to it. I just can't tell which architectural style would that be.
Let me look at Bravil. So, like I said, I haven't played a ton of Oblivion. Let me look at pictures. There's a big tower in the middle of Bravil.
Oh, okay. Look at the video. Look at the photo,
Yeah.
and there is like a lighthouse type tower in it. Like,
So if you look at the... Oh, wait, that I linked the Google search on accident, so I'm
okay,
gonna
this
link
one.
better this
Oh,
time.
okay. That's that. I have a feeling that's gonna be Buraville.
Yeah, I think we did it. We did it,
Yeah,
everybody.
We did it!
Yep.
because that
Swish.
tower is definitely the tower of that temple.
Yeah, no, 100%. That
We,
at this point, I will now be shocked if that is not it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because everything we just organized together in that giant train of thought, really, it's just like, okay, that checks every single one of those boxes. So
Yes.
it's like we're on the Black Marsh side, so it's likely that we would have jungle type area and marshy area. We've got the water accounted for. It explains why there's no water technically on the map yet, but it will have water on the map. We've got our Argonian influence. We've got our Bosmer like going into the zone. We have the tower accounted for with the city. Like, yeah, wow. If we somehow got all of that and that actually isn't it, it's like that is a string of epic coincidences.
What we need to do before anybody else does this, and chat, looking at you, don't do it before us, 'cause we've worked hard here tonight. We need to get these screenshots that we've shared, put them in a Twitter post, and get it out there, so that way we can say, hey, look, we did it
Yeah,
first.
we'll have to. What we need to do is just clip the pieces and then like,
Make a video.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say, clip this little deranged explanation out and put this up, and then we can just
I'll edit it out and push it
Yeah.
out tomorrow. Yes, why not?
Yep,
Yes,
and then we
please do one.
yeah, we can what do you call it? I can just get I can snippet that little piece of the map and we can combine it with a couple of the screenshots because like I said, that's either a lot of coincidences or we did it, everybody.
Yay! Mystery solved.
Yep. So there you go. That's your next year. We've pretty much solved it. That's
We can
the whole
go back
story
to the
too.
Night City.
Yes, back to Night City.
My job is
Cyberpunk
so
time.
done.
We solved the ESO, so moving on.
See you next time. See you next release teaser to speculate.
Yep.
And get everything correct again, just like we have every other time.
Clearly. I'm doubling down on the fact that I still say the College of Winterhold. One day.
One day indeed, yeah. I mean, we are getting
We have to
Shalidor.
get it
like,
sometime.
we have Shalidor in the game. We have Shalidor's house in the game now. Well, we will have it.
Yeah, soon.
So the only thing... we have Labyrinthian in the game as well. We have Ivia. The only remaining thing is Shalidor's great College of Winterhold.
And the thing that I love about it, I don't know the exact dates, but it would be near its birth around this time. So it'd be kind of neat if it wasn't finished and it was still under construction.
Oh, I think
And
it's
similar-
still... No. I think College of Winterhold is super old. Hold on.
Is it for some reason? Oh, I didn't think it predated.
I
this
think it
zone too
predates
much.
Mages Guild.
Oh, does it?
hold on,
Oh,
let me
maybe,
refresh
all right, so maybe
my-
it is done. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know the timeline on that too much.
Yeah, I'm reading up on it now. History. There we go. I don't care about the fourth era. I care about the...
Yeah, it's definitely around then.
I care about the... Okay, hold on. College of Winterhold, come on. No, not the faction, the actual... The College of Winterhold, yes. So... Trying to find when it was built. I remember reading up on this a lot, but it was a long time ago. So
yeah, I
now
was
I'm
going to say,
just
was
trying
it
to-
super old?
And there's like a whole bunch of like quest related info on it as well, because it was a, it was a guild in Skyrim.
One of the oldest reliable mentions of the college comes from early Second Era.
Oh, okay.
It's right on the UESB. Yeah, it absolutely is being built right around now.
Well, I mean,
That'd be
from
really cool.
early... I mean,
I was going to say, depending upon quote unquote early, it's probably
we are like
done.
600
Like,
years into second
right,
era. So
right. So like, it's built, but it's new. But it'd just be kind of neat if they were doing stuff with it. But yeah, apparently, it holds a famous Arkanium, which is an arch-based quarter, blah, 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 blah. It's a Shalador, although it is one of the many dubious feats attributed to Shalador. One of the oldest reliable mentions of the college comes from the early second era. So
there you go.
Interesting.
Also,
So, yes,
this is
it was
before,
old,
like,
but-
more so than college itself. This would be before Winterhold got destroyed
Well,
with the
so
sea
that's-
things.
That's one of the things that I was considering is like the city would be up because it wouldn't have been ravaged by storms necessarily, like obliterated into dust. So it would just be kind of neat to have it be like more of a functioning place. And just because it's built doesn't mean they're not changing it. So it'd be neat if they were like, I always assumed that if we ever do get spellcrafting, it has to come with the time that like there's no better mix than spellcrafting if it's ever going to happen and the College of Winterhold. So like having you work on the college and anything like that, which then produces the ability to spellcraft or whatever, would just be like, I mean, that's just hand in hand. So I don't know how it would be any other way.
Honestly, but we are definitely not getting it this time around.
Oh yeah, no, I think
We missed our chance.
Skyrim may not be finished, quote unquote, even though we're missing the Winterhold and Whiterun specifically are the two that I'm like, those are real specific gaps, but whatever. But yeah, one day I was saying that even though that's not done, it would be, I feel like that would cause some pretty serious fatigue if they did like, all right, so the Dark Heart of Skyrim is done. Now it's for the early morning of Skyrim. It's like, oh my god, another year of Skyrim? Like, I don't think that would make many people happy.
Yeah. I mean, it would make me happy, but...
Well, right. But yeah, they can come back to it later, so...
ZeniMax Online doesn't care us about Nords.
And I guess...
They don't care.
That pretty much... man, we went real deep divey on that trailer, so... check out the trailer, everyone.
I am already making that image as we speak.
Good.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I was gonna say, yeah, because like that's
going
was
up,
the trailer. And check it out because it's really cool, and their blur trailers are freaking amazing.
We are gonna get hired into ZeniMax Online just with this.
Perfect.
They'll be like,
Or we'll
hey,
be
they are
imprisoned.
figuring out all of our plans. We just gotta get them in house and make them sign an NDA.
That, or they'll just be
That
like,
is-
all right, the lore masters,
up.
just please throw them into the dungeons. Like,
You guys stop talking. You figure everything out. You can't be allowed to live. You'll be tortured by
brother.
Finn for eternity.
yeah, oh god, Vet Dungeon and Khajiit attacks.
I mean, honestly, at this point, getting tortured by Finn, we do that to ourselves daily,
That's
pretty
true.
much.
What
so
kind of
that's
punishment
like,
can they really throw at us?
what else do you have? I mean,
Yeah, I was about to say Lotus smiles from the corner of the dungeon.
Hey guys, let's find the book in here and turn on hard mode. You're supposed to be imprisoned.
Let's do cold potato.
That achievement sucks. There's a really
you
easy,
got
I don't know.
it eventually,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know if I ever mentioned how for the 7 people who ever give a crap about getting cold potato. So it doesn't work like it is like implied it should, I guess. The thing that I was saying about like, oh, you know, it chases you and you have to just get in the ice prison. This is for Frostvault, by the way, with the avalanche boss and the wizard. We were committing seppuku pretty much so that we would have it pull different people, but then it would reset if you didn't get like it in that current life or whatever. Yeah, the moral of the story, the easiest way to get that achievement is it will pick somebody at random. Just run in and steal it if you don't already have it. Just slam into it before it can reach its destination person, and just do that to all 4 people and then kill the boss. That's what we did. It turns out that you don't need it to actually pick you. We just were like, well, what do we have to lose? So you can just bypass it by slamming your face into it. So
Oh, that's
the answer
lovely.
was force.
So that's pretty much the news, I guess. I mean, next year we are getting Gates of Oblivion with Bravel and potentially Levi. Some of that info is not official, but we are pretty confident.
We are getting the trailer.
We are getting the Deathlands closing of Gate of Oblivion trial, where we'll basically after the final boss, we'll rip out the sigil from the tower. So I guess the trial's name is gonna be Siege on Deathlands, something like that. The Deathlands Siege.
Yeah. Ooh, I like
I don't know,
Siege.
Dagon's shoulder muscles.
Yeah. Dagon's bulky traps. That's what we got. It's great.
Yeah. So, and on January 21st, we are gonna get the actual reveal event on twitch.tv/Bethesda. Obviously, it's going to be an online event, unless by a miracle, within a month, this whole thing blows over. But yeah, so that brings us to our tales. Except I don't have any.
Anybody at all.
Yeah, so first 2 days of the week, so Monday, Sunday, and pretty much Wednesday, I had an infection in my left eye for whatever the hell reason. I don't even leave the house. I guess I don't know, maybe scratched it, did something. So I didn't do much gaming. And after that, Cyberpunk released, so I played a whole bunch of Cyberpunk. I know Pixie also played a whole bunch of Cyberpunk. So, Pixie, you did play a bit of ESO though, right?
Yeah, I have a tale of Tamriel. So I actually attempted to tank Vet Depths of Malatar for the first time because I was just feeling tanky on Tuesday. And it was alliteration, so it even worked out that way.
Nice.
And I just realized that was total missed opportunity on that title there. But, so I went in, I had Kiz, Rabbit of Melancholia, and then one of Kiz's friends from UESP, who was a Warden tank main, who was actually DPSing, and was going to be helping. So we were like, okay, let's do pledges. So we started out doing the 2 easy pledges. Those went fine. I mean, I can tank base game dungeons with no issues. Then we get to VDOM, and it goes way smoother than I expected it to until Orb Boss, and then just everything fell apart. But before Orb Boss happened, so Rabbit is a stamina healer. So there was a little bit that we were trying to work out, and we also didn't have Rabbit on comms with us, so that was he was hearing everything in a little bit of a delay. But Wardens have a really strong self-heal, so it was working out just fine. We got to the Orb Boss though, and I was just getting overwhelmed with Aurorans. Whenever I'd get 4 of those on me and they were just doing their zappy bullshit, I would die, and there was just nothing I could do about it. I do think if I would have had Polar Wind on my sword and board bar, like a smart person, instead of on my staff bar, so I had to keep switching, that would have made a lot of a difference, because there were times where it's if I could have just hit that button a little bit faster, I would have been fine. So
also, the moment you swap bars, your block drops for a second and a half.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I mean, not second and a half, half
window.
a second.
Half a second. No, I knew what you meant. Yeah, it's that brief window.
God, imagine it dropped for a second and a half whenever you weapon swapped. Oh my God.
Good luck with some trials.
So I think if I would have been smart enough in the moment to put that on the correct bar, so if I would have just swapped whatever skill I have on 5, I don't remember what it is, with Polar Wind on the other bar, I would have been a lot better off. So lessons learned on that. I need to put my heal on the same bar as my sword and board, because if I'm needing to heal myself, I'm needing to block anyway. But I'm used to having all of my Healy stuff on one bar and all of my whatever on the other bar, DPS stuff with my healer. So I'm just I'll put all my tank stuff on this bar and then all my other stuff on the other bar, and because that's just how I build my healers. And that's apparently not what I'm supposed to be doing. So, and that was the feedback I got, because I said, I was running with a Warden tank main. So, got really helpful constructive criticism after the fact. So I think if I were to try that again, we would do better. But my god, those Aurorans don't mess around. So everybody says they have issues with the stone keepers or whatever they're called, the statue dudes.
Oh yeah, the Stone Watchers.
Stone Watchers, thank you. Those weren't as much of an issue for me as the Aurorans. Like, I was fine with the Stone Watchers, and I think it's because I've heard every single tank I've ever run with
they
complain
just hit
about them.
Freakishly hard. If they ever catch you off guard, it's like, bam, 60,000 damage. It's like, well, that was unpleasant.
Yeah, so I was like hyper aware of the Stone Watchers just because I had been warned about them by like everybody I've ever ran with. So, and I also have codes combat alerts, the cheater ones that you hate, Lotus. So if I saw anything from Stone Watcher, I was roll dodging it. I was not taking my chance at the block or anything. So I was all right. There was a point during I forget her name, but the icy crying lady, during her fight, I kept running out of stam, and that was a problem. So resource regeneration there, and it was because I just forgot heavy attacks were a thing, apparently, on my tank. Once I, actually started doing heavy attacks and not just spamming things to, poker whenever I didn't need to, it was a lot better, and we were able to get past that one. But it was actually really fun, and I just really enjoy tanking in this game a lot. Good. And every time I tank in this game, I'm just like, I would like to tank more in this game, and then I end up having to heal a trial or something, because I'm not at the level with a tank to actually do, end-game content. So if I get pulled into in-game content, I'm on my healer. But then,
you're doing vet DLC dungeons. That's pretty end-game, especially for 4-player content.
Yeah.
Trials end-game content is kind of different from dungeon endgame content. Most people tend to kind of bleed over to both. But given a choice, trials are fun to me. Trials are neither my strong point nor my high interest by comparison. I prefer dungeons. It's too much work to do trials at super endgame constantly. It's I do them and they're fun, but it's not the same as just grabbing 3 of your friends and doing vet.
Yeah, I consider myself a end game tank, but I am a noob in trials. So I have tanked, except the latest ones, pretty much everything in hard mode. But I just did the Craglorn trials in hard mode, and that's about it.
So for me, I really enjoy 4-man content. I really like trials too. I just want to be able to see all of the content in the game. So that's why I try to get in on trials when I can. And then I just get bored on normal just because I've been playing the game for so long that it just that difficulty just needs to be there for it to keep my interest. So trying to find somebody just run a vet trial with somebody who enjoys going into things that are painful blind is very difficult. So that's been my issue this whole time. It's yes, I would love to see vet halls of fabrication, even though I've never set foot into halls of fabrication at all, and I don't really feel like looking up a guide for it. Will you take me? I can press Healy buttons. I'm pretty sure they just laugh at me. But, I really enjoyed running that as a tank. We didn't beat it, but I learned a lot in there. The guy we were running with, Rem, afterwards sent me his build for his Warden. So I did swap out. I remember you guys told me, I think it was last week, to take Frozen Device off and use Silver Leash instead. And I did that. And the dude told me I'm doing it wrong, that I should be using Frozen Device. So, I don't know. I like both for different reasons. I like that with Frozen Device, I can set it up and pull 3 people at me at the same time if they're all standing still. So if it's 3 archers, I know where they're going to be. I can just go ahead and put those up. But with Silver Leash, it's if I accidentally lose someone, I can yank it off of the person really fast. And so I feel like they each have their use, and I like both of them. And I wish I could use both of them without it just being a massive resource drain and also taking up 2 slots. So I might just go back and forth. My cat is trying to clean himself over here, but
It really depends on the play style, like testing and seeing what works for you. For me, I never felt good about the frozen device. It just doesn't fit for me because I do a lot of like instant pulls. I jump. I sometimes even have to jump, so I can target something through enemies to pull them in as well. So I really like being able to pinpoint what I'm pulling. But if frozen device works better for you, for your style, it's definitely just go with that.
I think I had an easier time using Silverleash. Maybe it's just because I don't know where all the spawns are yet. But what Rem was telling me is once you know, especially in trials, like you're going to have this ad, and this ad spawn in this exact spot, and you have that memorized, so you can just like put that down and eventually it doesn't, it's like one of those moves that whenever you cast it, it doesn't pull aggro right away until it like actually fires because there's that timer. So you can set it up in advance, so there's a lot of like planning you can do with it. But in the moment, Silverleash was working a lot more. That being said, Silverleash also uses Stam, and I kept running out of Stam, which was also a problem. So I think it's just going to vary by situation which one I actually end up using. So sometimes I think Frozen Device would be better, and a lot of the time I think Silverleash should be easier for me. So as a new tank, Silverleash is easier to use because I just look at the thing and it comes over to me. I don't have to wait for it. I don't have to like anticipate it moving, because that's an issue I have with Frozen Devices. Sometimes I'll put it under an archer and the archer will just walk off, and it's like, well, I just wasted that cast and now I do it again. So, but it was a really fun experience, and if I can ever pull myself away from Night City, I'm going to be tanking again soon, I think.
Soon? Is that?
Yes,
I know. That's a very optimistic thing to say.
Well, I promised everyone I would go back to ESO on Thursday.
Look, in Night City, promises mean nothing.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So,
you're not wrong.
This is 2077, dystopia, Night City sucks. So just
Night City sucks, but it's also so pretty that it makes me crash things. I got distracted looking at neon lights because they were pretty and very bright, and I just immediately just ran into everything. And
honestly, ESO needs to add some neon plants now so I can go back into ESO housing, but make a cyberpunk house.
That would be amazing.
I mean, we already have the Celestial Nimbus, which is like purple, teal, all the neon colors, but a cloud. So that works. We have the mushrooms and like mushroom type glowy plants, which are also very neon. So we just need some furniture lined with that mushroom material, so they are lore friendly, but neon.
I agree. I love glowy plants and I love neon signs, so I am all over this.
Hey Zaz, wanna make some money? Make some money off of Cyberpunk release. This is how you do it. This is how you do it, I'm telling you.
Like, Ark, you and I are on completely different mega servers in ESO. When Cyberpunk multiplayer comes out, if there's servers that we can choose from, we have to make sure we're on the same server.
So
gotta be on the same side here.
So I assume if Cyberpunk multiplayer comes out, it's gonna be like GTA. So it's gonna be just dedicated servers, like server selection type thing. So I don't think it's gonna be dedicated servers,
like mega servers type of deal.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like mega server type of deal, but more like, you know how you join a Call of Duty server.
Right, it'll do it'll do client.
It'll be like 22 people
lobbies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine then.
Yeah,
we'll just have to make sure we get in parties.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, we're gonna have to convince Lotus to come with us, so that way we can have Tales of Night City.
Honestly, if it becomes multiplayer, I am forcing Lotus to do it somehow.
I was gonna say multiplayer could be fun. I could just drunkenly drive cars into houses.
If anything, we'll just make it our next Extra Life thing, and he'll have to do it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's what we'll do.
Number one way to strong arm me into doing something, it's like, well, I don't know, donation goal. It's like, damn it, it's for a good cause. Crap.
If we meet our donation goal of $1,
oh yeah, yeah.
do what you did to me, just set an abysmally low donation goal so that way I have to trash the Aldmeri Dominion for an entire month. That was not smart on my part to agree to that one.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Shares the
worked,
things.
but...
Is that it, Pixie? Is that all?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, what about
the rest is just a whole bunch of cyberpunk stuff.
Cyberpunk. Well, so to be fair, I don't even have like a ton either. But I've done a few things. So the most recent patch for us console folks, specifically because I play on PS4, I can vouch for this side, has been continuing to be a plus. The game is playing much more like it did pre-Markarth nuclear explosion, so that's definitely good. And as a result, I mean, it's certainly not perfect, but I mean, at what point have we said that it's literally perfect? But it's been doing well. So all the Markarth dailies are fixed, which is great because I like doing those, especially in a group, but cannot. For the longest time, we had no solution to the Void Mother. So if you got the Void Mother quest, you were just completely out of luck. Unfortunately, it looked like that pulling her down to reset her didn't work for us. It's just we simply couldn't complete that quest, period. But now we totally can, because I actually, except for the 4th repeatable that you can only do after you complete the story, which I've started working on the Markarth story. So far, so good. I completed the other 3 of the complete 30 dailies, because you're allowed to share some of them or whatever. So I've done all my Hera Storms, I've done all my world bosses, and I've done all my delves. I actually have one thing that's kind of interesting is you can share the 4th secret repeatable quest, and you can do it, but you can't turn it in because clearly the person is somehow story related, because I have a waypoint marker to a person that doesn't exist. Like, it's just
great.
There's a waypoint marker pointing in the middle of Markarth, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And the people who I was grouped with, because we were doing it as a group and sharing the quest so we could do more of them per day, they're all talking to somebody that I can't see yet. So I have a completed quest for somebody who doesn't exist because I haven't unlocked them in the story, which I thought was kind of amusing. So once I find them, I can totally turn in my first daily for them as well, which is kind of neat. I've been doing the event, just doing, the dungeons or whatever, getting my tickets so that I can buy some of the stuff. They sell pretty well, those motifs. So I've been trying to, or not motifs, but whatever they're called, the style pages, the opal styles. So I'm kind of buying the ones with the event tickets that I want. And any of the ones that I've gotten in drops, I'm selling because they're not bound to me. So I'm like, I'll sell these. I'm not probably going to use any of them anyways. So I'm selling those off whenever I can. Those are worth some pretty good money. I've run a couple trials. Again, performance much better, at least in my perspective. We've had some issues with other people, but I don't want to speak on behalf of other people, as who knows what the reasoning could be. But for the most part, we've had pretty good luck. Cloud Rest has been a struggle for us with, trying to get that whole team back together and kind of just on the same page again. So it's the weekly. We got our clear, so I don't remember where we are on the leaderboards or whatever, but we'll probably get our stuff in the mail because we at least posted a score. We had Vitality left over. We beat 0 in 29 minutes or something like that. But once we started adding pluses, our timer went up and our deaths went up. So we were like, ooh, okay, not so great still. But we at least got, posted on the leaderboards. And the other thing, the only other thing that I've done since last show is, with the frustration of Cloud Rest that I've kind of been experiencing for various reasons, we decided to try something a little different to mix it up as well. So instead of running Cloud Rest just non-stop until we all go insane, we're mixing in on something else every now and then. What we're mixing in to start with is we decided to try to get some Dramothra destroyers for people, which is the title for doing hard mode speed run and then some other random challenges in the Maw of Lorcage, Lunar Phase, and only have 2 people ever cleanse themselves during the Rakat fight and stuff like that. And we've just got hard mode left. We got it down to 30%. So I'll hopefully, Fang Focus, that's the name of it. Yeah. Thank you. That's another one. But I'm hoping in the next week or 2, I'll actually have my Dramothra Destroyer. We're only literally doing it once a week for 2 hours. It's not like a aggressive prog or anything like that. We're like, let's just do something that isn't Cloud Rest, please. So we have been running that, and we managed to polish off most of the stuff. Like I said, we've got hard mode down to 30%, and then I actually already have my Dramothra Destroyer, which will be kind of neat. But I'm hoping another week or 2, and then I don't know, if we do that, we'll figure out something else to do as our palate cleanser in between our beatings and Cloud Rest, I guess.
I love how the in-between to getting beaten is doing achievement runs in veteran Maw of Lorcage. That's like...
I know, right?
It's like, we should take a chill, relax this week. What should we do? Throw ourselves a veteran Maw of Lorcage and try to figure out rotating clockwise.
Once you had... So the thing is VMAL is very, very difficult until it clicks. And then when it clicks, you just get it, is the
until
best way I can explain
adults learn how to rotate clockwise or counter.
And the thing is, since the people in this team that I'm with either are very experienced or just, they have a lot of experience in the game and everything like that, we had one session where we were blowing each other up, and we're like, what are we new? Like, how are we screwing this up so much? And we did run into an issue. We did find out that we were less stupid than we thought, because several people in the group were just like, dude, I know you're not new. Why do you keep blowing me up? And we realized that we weren't being given head colors.
Oh, well, that's a problem.
And it wasn't, people weren't articulating that, I don't have any color. It's so, but then we got the most recent patch. Not even the most recent patch, the one before, the incremental one that happened that we got, the first one that came out early. That one fixed that problem. But during the Markarth thing, we started messing around with it, and we were just like, oh dear God. But once that happened, suddenly it went from us blowing each other up to, if anyone blows up, we just laugh at them because they're the one death for the entire, if it's so that's, and we've found some funny stuff when we were doing it, but we've got that going pretty well. But yeah, it was something to work toward, but also at the same time, we've got a team that was already very experienced. So everybody already had gone over that kind of initial hump of how do I determine my left from my right while people are transitioning and exploding and all of that stuff. So everybody had learned that with different groups. This was an amalgamation of 12 people who already had VMAL down, and we just needed to get VMAL down together was kind of the situation. But yeah, so that's really the only other thing of note that I've been doing that's something I'm working toward. And hopefully, like I said, a week or 2, and if we can get that hard mode down, because I've never cleared the hard mode in VMAL. Honestly, I'd never tried it until this group decided to do it. And we've gotten it to 30% pretty consistently, and then it's just a little dicey getting the patterns of everybody and learning what we're doing at the end there. So definitely hoping to get that done, and then who knows what we'll do next. And one day I'll get a VCR 3 clear. Not anytime soon, though.
So you don't have any arena tales for us this week?
I didn't get to play arena either. That's what I mean. I didn't unfortunately have much game
Man, this
time.
whole show is ruined.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go play Cyberpunk.
If it makes you feel better, tomorrow I fully plan on playing arena, so you can always...
Yes.
Yeah, so while everybody is binging out with playing Cyberpunk, you can just have the soothing sounds of me swearing and screaming at the screen in the background as I die repeatedly in arena. And this isn't really so much a tale, so much as something I figure I will bring up as going forward. Assuming that I really am 3/4 of the way through Arena, and that the game does end once I get the staff pieces, combine them, and I assume go throat punch Jägerbomb Tharn. Originally, my idea was I'm going to have people vote on what game I'm going to play next in the series. But I've decided to change that. I'm going to let people vote on what race they want me to play, which I know is stupid because I already know which race I'm going to have to play. Like, it's very obvious what everybody's going to vote for.
If I have done it, you shall do too.
Yeah. But the game I'm going to play next is decided, and I decided it because of the trailer that came out. Because I want to play Battlespire since it's very directly related to Dagon attacking the Battlespire. So I figure that's the only logical conclusion is I need to see if there's any cool tidbits we can pull out of that dumpster fire while I have no idea how that game works, so I assume I'm going to be murdered. Nothing crosses my mind that thinks that game's going to be easy. But at the same time, yeah, I plan on when I beat Arena, I'm going to jump into Battlespire next. That'll be my next target. And see if while we're fighting Dagon in Elder Scrolls Online, how he works in pixelated crappiness back in Battlespire. So
all I know about Battlespire is that the Imperial battle mages are basically trained in the pocket universe that is Battlespire. That's all I know about it. So the old mages that we see in the Imperial Legions, they have trained in Battlespire in a safe, tiny pocket universe.
Yeah, so the other thing too is one, that Daedric Crescent, the weapon in that game that the character on the cover is holding, it's like that crescent moon blade thing. That is such a cool looking weapon to begin with. But the only thing I really know about Battlespire is it has a multiplayer.
I am so curious how that's gonna actually perform.
I'll put my money on poorly, but it has it's got a multiplayer, and from what I understand, it is not it's not open world. It's a linear level based game, and I think if I'm not incorrect, you level up from completing floors of the dungeon or something like that. I don't know. That's really all I know about it. I've seen a little bit of it, and that's beyond that. Oh, and I know that there's a lot of weird sex stuff in the game, supposedly.
Oh. I mean, that's just Elder Scrolls, honestly.
It is, and that from what I understand is you can talk to like anything in the game. I don't know if it's literally anything, but like you can talk to your enemies. Like if a Daedra's running at you, you can talk to it if you have the skill to, or something like that. And
that's where Finn got that mechanic from.
Another callback. So there's that, and that's where I heard that it gets kind of weird. Is like you'll talk to some of the Daedra, and they'll like the spider Daedra will like hit on you and stuff like that. And I'm like, what is this product?
Cyberpunk might be the only more explicit game that I've seen as a whole setting than Elder Scrolls.
Interesting.
At least in the famous settings. I'm pretty sure there are some messed up games out there.
Of course.
There's the brothels in Witcher 3.
That's true.
True. But see, the thing is, brothel is a very common thing for like those ages, or even today, I guess. But the way Elder Scrolls portrays you get the word, is like, as Lotus said, it's not just, sex. It's Daedras hitting on people, Vivek
Spider
and
mating
Molag
dance.
Ball
Yeah.
doing
Oh, yeah.
things that should
Yeah.
not be done.
Right, the spider mating dens, not great,
So,
not good times.
I mean, one
It's
day
like
they're
mainly
eating
when you-
another one and then
yeah, and I mean,
whooping it as another day. It's like-
yeah, everything involving vampires.
yeah.
No,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
It's
Elder
dark.
Scrolls is
Like that's
weird.
and I guess maybe that's one of the things. Not to like ever take away from like if somebody's uncomfortable with something, that's fine. Like
oh yeah.
it is what it is, and especially if you have some type of connection to that, it's like I get it. But Elder Scrolls is not a friendly series.
Oh no.
In any way.
No.
Like
Yeah.
it is dark. It is a awful world full of horrible things. And it's like that's I think why now granted do some people take advantage of that and like oh no I'm just it's like all right don't be a scumbag and pretend that it's all like part of the story like but from a gameplay perspective I have a tough time ever getting too shocked or appalled at anything in Elder Scrolls just because so much of it is just like yeesh this is just what is written into the series is dark as hell already. So it's like when somebody references it, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's terrible. And it's not, it never strikes me as being dark for the sake of shock value. It's dark for the sake
no,
of, it's
yeah.
just an awful world.
Yeah. It reminds me of do you know that series, the cartoon, the messed up cartoon series, the Happy Tree Friends, I think?
Yes,
Oh,
my
yes.
brother watched that.
So
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls is sort of like when you look at it from afar, it's like, oh, you know, shiny mounts or I don't know, magic or sword fighting, woo, jungles and
Nope.
forests and and then you get into the lore and it's like, yep,
Yeah, it's like, oh,
that's messed up.
that's
I
the
feel
Daybreak
like-
Prince of what?
It's really easy to like put blinders on and be like, this is great, this is all happy. Like me, whenever I hadn't Googled anything about aliens, and you guys are like, have you looked into their lore? I was like,
SOS,
no, they're,
yeah,
they're
aliens,
cool
aliens,
magic
like-
dudes, right?
Right.
I was like, yeah, aliens are cool. They do magic good. Is like the extent I knew about aliens. You're like, oh no. And I was like, oh no. How
That's
many
exactly
times did I
it.
say good things about them?
Right. And that's all I kind of mean is just like it depends what corner you're the most exposed to, I guess, in Elder Scrolls. Because again, there's a lot of darker, offensive shit in the series that some people might not even realize. Like it's just like, oh yeah, I've never even explored that part of the lore or whatever, and it's like, yeah, it's dark.
Ignorance is bliss when it comes to Elder Scrolls
in
lore.
many cases, ignorance is bliss in Elder Scrolls. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Nothing too extravagant on my end either. But yeah, hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to tackle some more arena and get some more stuff done, and have tales of success would be good to mix it up. That'd be a
That's
Yeah.
less fun for everybody else, though.
Yeah, we
nice
we
change of
enjoy
pace for
listening
me.
to you just crawl
I mean,
across everything you do, basically.
you guys got to see my struggle bus of trying to drive in a vaguely straight line in Cyberpunk, so
Also,
it's tragic anytime you put me on a road in that game, I swear.
our super short show, because we were gonna play Cyberpunk, is hour and a half with 25 minutes of pre-show. Given
Yeah.
that 30 minutes of that 25-minute pre-show was talking Cyberpunk, so there's that.
valid. You got a little
Yeah,
out of your
so-
system.
Yeah, and after the stream for our live audience, I am not gonna go offline. I'm gonna stay live, and I'm gonna play Cyberpunk. So
There you
yeah, it's
Well,
what a
That-
sleep.
that's just
I don't
it.
need it.
That's just it. We saw. I mean, we really. It's valid also, as Ishi points out. It wasn't a 2-hour show. However, we did solve Elder Scrolls, just the whole thing. So I mean, we got that
yes.
going.
By the
for
way,
us.
one thing. So I posted it already. I made an image and posted it on Twitter already.
I saw
and
that.
We got a
Yes.
response, and someone said, Doubted definitely aimed more towards Skingrad and connecting the Gold Coast map to it. And then I looked at the map, and Skingrad also has a tower.
Does it?
And
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
Most
no.
cities in Cyrodiil have a tower.
yeah. So it sort of like has a, you know, mansion, chateau type tower with the pointy things and everything. It's also
Is it
at the
Skingrad
end of a
Northwest?
river.
It is at the end of a river. I still like ours because that would be very removed from the jungle portion. That
Oh yeah,
Right.
so I still stick with Bravil, but
I do too, but that's a
location-wise,
very-
Skingrad also makes sense because it checks out. In the
yes, and
sense
kids are
that
saying skin because I know a lot of people were very interested because like there have been like I guess hintings at it. This is why actually now I'm glad that I want to.
if it got hinted as well, I haven't done Markart yet, so
That's
I
the
don't
thing
know.
is I need to do Markarth because I've heard that that's what everybody's been so stuck on with the fact that it has anything to do with Cyrodiil. Period. People were like, "Oh, it's Cyrodiil." I was like, "Sure." Like I guess I don't know.
But yeah,
I
if
could see
Skinrad
it.
has been hinted at, that's probably gonna be it then. Because
Maybe.
so far they basically hinted at the new thing every single
They
time.
do. They the way that they breadcrumb the mechanics in dungeons, they breadcrumb the story, and sometimes you just don't know it until after you've started the story. It's like, oh yeah, you telegraphed this like way before. So
I still like our theory.
I do too.
Yeah, honestly,
And
I
like
would-
I
Sticking
said,
by
yes.
ours.
confirmed we solved Elder Scrolls.
Hey, at least we took the correct approach. We just looked. If it turns out to be Skingrad, we just looked at the wrong river. That's it.
Yeah, we
Well,
had
yeah.
the right idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it being so close to Black Marsh and that marshy zone that we saw
That's-
in the trailer, that's what
that's
sells me
what's
on
You still
ours.
have a high
Like, that's-
possibility. Yeah.
That's what definitely messes why I wouldn't have considered Skingrad, I guess, is just because like it doesn't seem like it fills in the jungle portion with the Argonian hint as much, but maybe there's something else that it's like, oh, it was this, I see, or whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
They might have shown
the-
us Argonian and that just like threw us all off.
Maybe.
The Valenwood side of the land of that river could be jungly and marshy.
yeah, oh, it definitely
because,
could.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. January 21st.
Yep. Excite.
So, yeah, that brings us to the end of the show. So, Pixie, do you have anything else to add?
No. I am looking forward to hearing that we're correct. And also more cyberpunk.
There you go. And where can people find you and all the cyberpunk shenanigans?
You can find me and my horrible cyberpunk driving over at twitch.tv/hyperpixiegaming, and you can find me on Twitter at hyperpixiegames.
There you go, folks. And Lotus.
I am Lotus of Doom on Twitch and Twitter. Ideally, I will be streaming while watching football tomorrow and tackling some Elder Scrolls Arena. So if you want to take a break from Cyberpunk, which nobody does apparently, so you can always have me on in the background if you feel like listening or watching to that. But otherwise, yeah, you can just catch me next time here or on the Elder Scrolls Lorecast.
There you go, folks. And, of course, you can follow everything we do over at dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. There you can find links to all of our social media, including Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Discord. If you're one of our audio listeners, our live shows and live streams have a lot of extra shenanigans that get edited out. So definitely do check everything. All those links there. Our Discord is where we hang out when we are not live or recording a show. Be sure to also check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork if you want to help support the show, because that's what keeps all of this going and keeps the metaphorical torches lit. Also, you can leave us a 5-star review on iTunes so people know that we are a real podcast, that we say real words, and sometimes they matter, and we will read them on the show. So thank you all so very much for joining on this episode of Tales of Tamriel, and we will see you all next week. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seer it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark down in an alien well. Magica fused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.